Mate, I want to talk about... Sorry to be abrupt there a bit there, Mike. I'd like to talk about the Forgotten Australians, mate. Right, we're a group of over 500,000 that were in the children's homes throughout Australia. Now, in 2009, we had the national apology by Kevin Rudd, which apologised on behalf of the abusers that raped and abused the children of the children's homes.
Right.
Now, I'm one of these survivors myself, mate. I was raped and abused in a children's home, yet still to this day, the government has not charged any of these perpetrators that abused and raped us victims in these children's homes. So why is the government not pursuing to charge these perpetrators that did these crimes to us in these children's homes?
Well, I can only guess at the reasons, but I mean, you're the one who went through it, and you know, obviously you're part of this larger group. So why do you believe it's the case?
Well, I believe it's the case is that the government's still covering up the corruption of the children's homes.
So they don't want to know about it.
Well, they give a national apology and state apologies to us for what had happened to us, but yet the government does not even want to go and grab these people that are still alive today.
Well, doesn't that once again highlight that really an apology isn't worth much in and of itself?
Well, yes, that's correct. In one sense, it's not. But they try to manipulate everyone by pumping in little services of giving you services for your counselling and just to try and keep you under the ropes, under their control again. But whereas they're not wanting to pursue and act and charge the predators and the perpetrators that did these crimes. Now, I myself even lost a court case in the Supreme Court in Sydney in 2008 trying to take the predators to court because the lawyers for DOCS of New South Wales say the logbooks of their children's homes were destroyed. Now,
so it's just too hard to make a case, is that it?
No, it wasn't too hard of making a case, in my belief. My belief was that the courts looked at the aspect that, well, you've got no logbook, so you cannot get no justice. Even with the apology that Kevin Rudd gave to the Forgotten Australians in 2009 on the 16th of November, he stated in that apology, we are believed.
Well, it's all very well for him to say that, but it doesn't necessarily mean, as you found out, that you can, as the lawyers say, strap it up in such a fashion that you can carry the day in a court.
Yeah, well, when you do take it to court, like, take for instance, there's been over a few hundred court cases in the Supreme Court of New South Wales that got thrown out, right, because of what reasons I've got no idea, but in my own situation I appealed against the state and the state had won their case against me because their reason being was that my adulthood was a bad past of life within itself. But the issue was I was a child that was raped and abused.
So what did they mean by that? Have you got a criminal history?
Yes, yeah, I've got a criminal history. I've got no need to hide that. I never hid it from the courts or anything like that.
Well, I'm only asking out of interest because, look, you would know better than I, particularly because you've got a criminal history, that courts can only do so much. I mean, let's be practical about this idea that courts dispense justice. They don't. They deal with the law. And if you can't make your case to the satisfaction of a court, then the day is not going to be carried. It seems a bit gratuitous to me that you were told the reason that, essentially, this is what I'm getting from what you're telling me, the reason that you're an unhappy man is because of the way you behaved. You're saying, though, that you deserve some kind of recompense for the miserable childhood you had to endure. True?
True. I would like the perpetrators to be charged for the crimes that they did.
I get that. I understand that. But apart from anything else in the court, you are unable to make the case successfully, and you've been told, well, you behaved like a criminal, so if your life hasn't turned out too well, it's your own fault. Is that, am I summarising it reasonably accurately here?
Not accurately, but reasonably that on that path. But the thing is, for 20 years, I've been away from that type of lifestyle.
Right, so you haven't done anything criminal for 20 years?
Oh, say 15. say 15.
Say 15, Michael. Yeah. Anyway, look, I'm just curious. You know, I'm interested in people's lives and their experiences and what they've had and the way they see the world, and it's interesting to talk to you. But the reality is, as unhappy as those experiences were, you're not getting any satisfaction from the court. And I don't know. I mean, does there come a time when you have to say, I got to move on because I'm not going to get satisfaction from the courts here. I just don't have enough to carry the day. I'm not saying that's right or fair, but maybe it's just the way it is. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, Mike, the thing is, right, my file's been sitting at Penrith Police Station since 2003. They've got the perpetrators' names. I've described the motor vehicle that I was in where I was raped and abused. Yet because these people have never had a charge against them in their life, they're classed as the goody two-shoes. And they're walking away with the crimes that have happened in these institutions by the Government Department of the Department of Community Services, DOCS, which was run under by Linda Burney.
Look, I get it. I mean, I get the way you see it, Michael, and I'm not saying that what you're telling me is incorrect, but I try to deal with the world the way it really is. And the world, as it is for you, is you're not going to succeed in the court, as near as I can tell. So do you simply accept that? I mean, really just cut it loose and say, tomorrow is another day, now I'm going to go on and live my life? There are things that happen to us all where we feel that we've been shortchanged, some to a greater or lesser degree than others, but sometimes you've just got to take a deep breath and say, I gave it a red-hot go, I did my best, but I can't make it fly, so now I've just got to get on with it.
Yeah, but the thing is, mate, yeah, okay, that's what everyone says. Get over it and get on with it.
I'm not dismissing your experience, but I'm just trying to deal with the practical reality of it.
Well, the practical reality of it is that there's still pedophiles roaming society out there that the laws allow them to roam free.
Yeah, all right, I'm not saying it's just, but, you know, ultimately, what are you going to do? Well, are you going to live in this sense of having been ripped off, and maybe you have been ripped off, or are you going to get on with your life? You know, you still got a fair bit of your life to live. How are you going to live it? That's the question.
Well, mate, I'm hitting 50 now, okay?
Right, okay, but you know the way things are, you probably got another. What do you reckon? How old was your father when he died? Do you know?
Well, listen, mate, he died when he was in his 60s.
Right, okay. Well, if you only make it to your 60s, maybe you've only got another 15 years. Maybe you ought to make the most of it.
Well, mate, yeah, well, like I said to Greg Smith, the Attorney General at Parliament House when they had a VCT conference down there in March of last year, well, when I'm walking on my last sticks, mate, that's when the two pedophiles will go. If you haven't done the justice, I'll do it myself.
All right, Michael. Thanks for that. 27 to midnight.